My name is Farzana Hoosen. I'm the newly appointed Commercial Director for Bidvest Branded Products. Officially in the role for just over 2.5 weeks, so it is fairly new. But I do come from a background of Bidvest. Recently, the most recent being Home of Living Brands, where I fulfilled the role of being the Head of Marketing and New Business Development. And prior to that, I've spent most of my career at Adcock Ingram, which is a strong part of the Bidvest Group. Almost 13 years of my career has been spent within that space. As the Commercial Director of Bidvest Branded Products, my role is to connect the dots. We work across a diverse amount of businesses, some that provide services and some that actually build brands. I see the role as looking for synergies across the various business strategies, looking at how we can implement commercial excellence and drive growth ultimately. But there's a second part. I need to make sure that commercial excellence doesn't come at the exception of transformation and equity. So standing by and helping the division to build on the group's ESG and transformation goals is a very, very core part of the role as well. Every part of my career has been very intentional and deliberate in the choices that I've made. Being exposed to Adcock Ingram for as long as I have, I feel very lucky to have been exposed to a very regulated, disciplined, and strong corporate structure. It gave me the grounding that I needed to build on strategic thinking, and also exposed me to various categories of pharmaceuticals, whether it was OTC, ethical medicine, consumer medicine. So a variety of markets and a variety of customer segments. That built a high level of agility and cross-collaboration. At Home of Living Brands, it was a very entrepreneurial environment. I was faced with tough trading conditions, a very fast-paced market, giving myself exposure into the global procurement environment specifically and the end-to-end value chain. There was high levels of accountability where every decision that was made had a very strong commercial impact. Now, coming into the commercial director role, I believe that my experience is allowing me to bring the best of both worlds. High levels of discipline as well as high levels of agility, enhancing the commercial acumen and the ability to drive executional excellence. From a leadership perspective, I've always been in roles that required a high level of directiveness, and this role will require me to adapt that to being more collaborative, to implore a way of actively listening and understanding, and also being humble enough to give respect to the legacy that the businesses come with. This role will require a high level of influence through working through people rather than actually driving an instruction. You know, as they say, marketing is where the creative spirit lies in any business, but it's just not about developing the cutest ad, but it is about what marketing truly gives you from a commercial perspective. And what I've taken from my experience is a high level of commercial awareness, being able to understand markets with a customer focus, being absolutely customer centric, understanding and having adaptability of how we should be trading in relation to what the customer need states are, and spending more time with the data and actually allowing that to deliver on our strategic imperatives. One of the most recent experiences would be at Home of Living Brands. Entering into the business, customer confidence was probably at its lowest in the business, and I had to make sure that we drive a strategy where the customer gets put first, and we needed to drive deep understanding of where our gaps are. One of the highlights in my career has definitely been at Adcock Ingram within the consumer division. We had taken a strategic choice of entering into personal care, meaning that we had to shift our perspective from pharmaceutical excellence into an FMCG space. That pivot actually allowed us to develop our people. So we put our people first, we built capability, we built our brands, which allowed us to build scale. That strategic move or that pivotal moment allowed Adcock Ingram to become recognized in a category that they weren't very strong in previously, and to generate revenue from a category that was driving growth within the South African market, allowing for diversification, allowing for new brands to enter into the division, opening ourselves up to acquisition opportunities. So So just understanding what the market needed and entering into that space boldly and bravely, I think was quite a momentous thing as part of my career. From a leadership philosophy perspective, I firmly believe in being results driven, but not at the expense of people. I lead with empathy, with kindness and integrity first. And lastly, there has to be a purpose. There's a strong drive towards understanding the why, being curious enough to help people understand the why and to take them on the journey so that we are all working towards one strategic goal. So the first thing is to create a high level of collaboration and synergy so that we can actually build to scale, and that's maximizing the opportunity that exists within our businesses. As individuals, we're strong, but as a collective, we would be unstoppable. That would be the first thing. In our strategic segments that we have selected, ensuring that we are increasing our market share in those segments to be able to drive growth. And I think lastly is to help be part of driving the culture of transformation, the culture of innovation, which is what we have committed ourselves to as a leadership team. On commercial excellence, and for us to achieve that, I firmly believe we are going to have to employ a few strategies that involve crowd sharing, bringing minds together to be able to drive us forward, looking at opportunities of using our commercial forums so that we can have collective sharing. I also foresee the use of our innovation hub platform that we've created taking new leaps into the upcoming year. And then lastly, I would like to ensure that I maintain a level of connect of the group with other commercial directors and listening and understanding what best practices look like and seeing how that could be utilized within our division. I'm very strong on relationship building. Having an in-depth understanding of the why, as I've mentioned, is really important, and also understanding different people's roles within the organizations that they play in. From a strategic perspective, for me, it is really important to be able to listen, not just listen to act, but listen to understand. And how can I use the different insights to positively impact the bigger picture? So I think that my focus again would be to make sure that we give credit to the work that has already been done. Firstly, to show respect for individuals, as well as then working together to co-create what the future looks like. Being a youngster, that I'd like to think of myself as a youngster joining the division, the world is changing, and talent retention is not just about an incentive structure or remuneration anymore. It is about culture. It is, do I have the ability to grow within the organization? Can I see myself in a leadership role? Can I see myself communicating on a daily basis with the people that I work with? And I think that is something that I would bring as a pillar into our retention programs, helping the teams understand the true needs of the younger population that are now entering into our business. So what excites me the most about Bidvest Branded Products is the bountiful opportunities. Like I've mentioned, we are strong as individual businesses, and there is a lot of groundwork to be done to bring those businesses together, to create value propositions for our customers and to create uniqueness within the market. So I foresee a lot more work that would be happening collaboratively, which excites me. It excites me to bring people together, to bring ideas and energies together, and to make a mark, to actually leave a legacy. Be curious, be courageous, lead boldly, and just be yourself.